Isang masayang pagbati na may ngiti sa aking mga labi. Naghahanap ba kayo ng makakatuwang sa pagre-review ng inyong anak? Meron yan sa DepEd. Ang ETUlay online tutorial ay libre at handog ng ating kagawaran sa pangunguna ng OUA ICTS EdTech. Ito ay isang proyektong makatutulong sa mga mag-aaral, katuwang ang mga magulang o kasama sa kani-kanilang tahanan para masagutan at maunawaan ang mga modules. Hangad din ng programang ETUlay ang matulungan ang ating mga guro sa kanilang mga blended learning classes. Ang ating ETUlay ay mula kinder hanggang senior high school. Bukod sa academics, meron din tayong mga special programs gaya ng All is Wellness, Reading and Math Remediation, Storytelling, Mommy Tech Talks, Classes sa Gramatika, Speech Class, Financial Literacy, at marami pang iba. Pinalawig din ng ETUlay ang ating Alive program para sa mga mag-aaral mula grade 1 hanggang grade 3. Gayun din ay mayroon tayong ALS program at SPED tutorials na makasisigurong makakamit ng lahat ang inclusive education. May SPED hotline na rin para sa inyong mga katanungan patungkol sa special education. Kaya, subaybayan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, mula 9:00 ng umaga hanggang 7:00 ng gabi ang ating ETUlay. Sa ating pagtutulungan, maiaangat natin ang bawat isa. Ating itutulay ang pagkatuto upang di mapigil ang pag-aaral ng kabataang Pilipino. Itulay natin ito, sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive, and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Hello, good afternoon everyone. Live na live po tayo from Antipolo City, no? So shout out to everyone who are currently watching from all over the Philippines. Hello sa ating mga ETUlay mathletes, math coaches at mga math Husay schools na nakatutok para sa ating quarter 4 week 6 ng online tutorial session for grade 10 mathematics. So once again, we are asking you to share this live session for our new topic for today. I-share na po natin ito sa ating timeline, sa ating Facebook groups or schools, official Facebook pages, and sa ating mga group chats para naman kasabay natin yung mga friends, schoolmates, and classmates natin na matututo sa mga bago nating lessons for today. So this is Tutor Joy Villarreal from SDO Caloocan City. At kasama rin po sa ating grade 10 mathematics team, si Tutor Ruel from SDO Kamsur at si Tutor Avhil from SDO Bataan. So sa ngayon lang, sobrang busy lang siguro talaga nating mga teachers ngayong mga season na to, no? So Tutor Ruel is having an urgent activity in school. Ganun din si Tutor Avhil na nasa biyahe din po. So credits naman po sa PowerPoint ng ating presentation for this session kay Tutor Ruel. So before magsimula yung session, talagang dahil alam ni Tutor Ruel na hindi rin siya makaka-attend because of an urgent activity, he provided the PowerPoint. So salute Tutor Ruel, thank you so much for your efforts to have this PowerPoint presentation. So welcome. Ayan, nakikita ko po yung mga nagpapa-shoutout sa ating comment section. Hello, Jillian Ibanez Manuel, Micah Rincy Campos, at si Rianinia from SDO QC, ganyan, nandito rin si Liza Gumiran. Ayan, so nakakatuwa yung mga shoutout nila. Marami na silang nandito sa comment section ng Facebook and at the same time sa ating YouTube channel. So kung kayo po ay nakatutok sa ating DepEd ETUlay YouTube channel, hello din po sa inyo at mag-comment din po using this platform. So for this week, ayan, i-recognize natin ang 21 mathletes. So nakakatuwa po, maraming sumasagot at kumakasa sa ating mga challenges, no? Nasa week 6 na tayo at nakalimang challenges na po tayo. So let's start with our first mathlete. So ang mga una kong babanggitin ay from Quirino National High School, SDO Isabela. Let's start with Crystal Joy Cacho Denyola. Congratulations for being one of the mathletes of quarter 4 week 5 sa grade 10 math. Congratulations din kay Ina Isabela Ariadao. Ayan. Kay Philip Ray Mancera II. Also for Janeline G. Espiritu. Ayan. Congratulations sa inyo. We also have from Ocampo National High School, SDO Camarines Sur, Rodeline B. Valencia. Congratulations! Yan, kung mga classmates or schoolmates nyo to, shoutout nyo naman or mention nyo sila sa ating live chat or sa ating comment section. Yan, paki-mention nyo po sila. So, congratulations as well to Jamila S. De Mesa, Mia R. Casino, Catherine K. B. Obina, Nagesh Lay Prades, Julie May D. Rule. Yan, marami tayong mga bagong mathletes na na-feature. Galing din sa Ocampo National High School, Jonard Q. Paulite. Yan, congratulate natin sila sa comment section. We also have Maria Antoinette A. Molina, Marinel B. Manaog, Angelica Jane I. Cortez, Catherine B. Manaog. Sila ay mga galing po sa Ocampo National High School. We also have from Coleat High School. Congratulations, Ibrahim Z. Lumpingan from SDO Quezon City. Yan. And we also have from San Mariano National High School, SDO Isabela. Congratulations to the following mathletes. At syempre, hindi pa huhuli ang ating mga math coaches. So, yun ay yung ating mga mathletes. Now, this time we also want to recognize our math coaches for Q4, week 5. So, congratulations and thank you, Sir Carl Justin V. Condino from Ocampo National High School, SDO Camarines Sur. Ma'am SP Ventura from Coleat High School, SDO Quezon City. Ma'am Karen Marcelo from Ocampo National High School, SDO Camarines Sur. Sir Junor Direction from Quirino National High School, SDO Isabela. Grabe, sunod-sunod to si Sir kasi ang dami talagang mga students niya rin ang nagjo-join, kumakasa sa ating challenges. At gayon din, si Ma'am Mary Rose F. Robles from San Mariano National High School, SDO Isabela. And Ma'am Rowena Dizon from San Mariano National High School, SDO Isabela. And at this moment, we also have 3 Math Husay schools for Q4, week 5. Namely, congratulations and thank you so much for your all-out support. San Mariano National High School from SDO Isabela. Coleat High School from SDO Quezon City. And last but definitely not the least, we have Ocampo National High School, SDO Camarines Sur. And actually, no, our dear mathletes, math coaches, and math husay schools, may mga iba pang mathletes na kumasa rin, sumagot. But since they were previously recognized sa ating previous session, isa-shout out na lang po muna namin sila. So, kumasa rin sa ating Q4, week 5 challenge ang mga sumusunod na ETUlay mathletes na certified matibay, no? #matibay. So we have Jill Grace T. Tawagon, Rianina Angela Tercero, Michelle S. Roa, Miriam Yadaw, ayan, and Miriam Yadaw. So siya yung panghuli. So congratulations and thank you for believing in yourself that you can actually answer this weekly math challenge. So, salamat sa pagsubok, sagutan kahit na may mga ilang mali tayo, no? Lalo kapag nalilito tayo dun sa definition ng measures of variability and standard deviation, yung item number 1. So, commonly sa mga na-check namin, dun tayo nagkakaroon ng misconception. Okay, siguro sa next posting na lang natin ng set of recognized mathletes, coaches, and schools for Q4, week 5, isasama namin kung ano ba yung right answers for that activity. So once again, congratulations and thank you for always answering our weekly math challenge. Now, let's begin with our new lesson for Q4, week 6. This is now the second part of the current module that we're using. Nasa module 35 na po tayo ng Q4 sa grade 10 mathematics. This is now entitled Analyzing and Interpreting Research Data. Same title with the previous one, but this time this is the second part. So continuation po tayo. So screenshot na para alam yung title ng ating lesson. And still shout out to DepEd Cordillera Administrative Region and its development team of the module for allowing us to use this as our reference. Very helpful po. Ayan. So, nandyan din nakatutok at nanonood mula umpisa si Philip Ray Mancera, Michelle Saltarin Roa, at Irish Perilla. So, basahin lang natin ang shoutout nila Philip Mancera. Ayan, sila ay mula sa school. Yan, nawala sa ating comment section. Yan, mula po sila sa Quirino National High School, SDO Isabela. Sabi po ng mga taga Quirino National High School, handang math tuto, kami ang mga mathletes from Quirino National High School, SDO Isabela. And shout out din po sa kanilang teacher, Sir Junward C. Rection, for consistently updating and monitoring the performance of his students. So thank you so much for appreciating this program. Hopefully we can reach more students and coaches. Now, let's proceed. Of course, for every session, we have different objectives. For today, we have 2. So, first is to identify the level of measurement of a variable. Kung matatandaan nyo last session, nag-recall tayo ano ba yung 4 na levels ng measurement. Pero this time, we need to identify, given the variable, anong level of measurement siya kabilang. Is it nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio? And then, for the second objective, we will be identifying which descriptive measure is appropriate to use in analyzing data. Matatandaan natin na meron tayong tatlong descriptive measures, which wherein its main role is, of course, to describe a distribution, no? At under these measures, may tigta-tatlo tayong isinama. That's why we have a total of 9 descriptive measures. At pang-10, sinama rin natin yung relative frequency last session. Ayan, so much for that. Yan. Thank you po sa PowerPoint presentation natin for today, Tutor Ruel. Tinatanong kayo ni Tutor Ruel kahit siya ay off-cam. Are you ready? Because if you're ready, and we believe that you always do, then let's get started. Yan. So, once again, live na live po tayo from Antipolo, no? Because we are also having, currently we're also having a conference, leadership conference. So, nandito po tayo sa First Pacific Leadership Academy. So, thank you for this venue, for allowing me to have this set up. So, you are certified matibay, kaya magkakaroon muna tayo ng quick review challenge. Yan. Start tayo for number 1. Again, lagay lang po ang item number at ang capital letter of your answer. Which of the following illustrates a frequency? A. Salary increase. B. Rate of interest of an investment. C. Number of students enrolled in a statistics class. Or D. Areas of specialization for sophomore students. Ayan, sabi ni Jillian sa comment section, ready na tutor. Ganon din si Miriam Yadaw. Now, please send your answer. Is it A, B, C, or D? For 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, meron na tayong mga nakikitang answer sa ating comment section. We'll just verify kung tama. Excuse me. Ayan. Itong question na to, lumabas to last week sa ating weekly quick activity, no? Yung sa dulo, ginawa natin tong post-assessment. Isa sa mga items for our post-assessment. So, kung natatandaan pa, yan, mahusay. So, for number 1, it's letter C. Kasi, tinutukoy natin ay frequency. It's the number of students enrolled in statistics class. So, bilang ng datos sa isang dataset. Good job. Now, for number 2, so tama si Philip, si Jillian, si Hannah Marjorie, si Miriam Yadaw, at ganon din si Ria Nina at Angel Lu. Yan. For number 2, which of the following levels of measurement can assign a quantitative value in each observation with no natural order? So, ang linaw ng clue natin, mathletes, no natural order. So, ano kaya sa 4? Is it nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio? So, isa to sa mga unique characteristic ng level ng measurement na to eh. Walang natural order. Ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng i-rank. No? So, A, B, C, or D. Number 2, pakilagay po ang item number, huwag kakalimutan. A, B, C, or D. And you are correct. It's letter A, nominal. Tandaan na ang function or role ng ating levels of measurement kapag nominal is only to label or categorize the given values. Kaya hindi natin sila pwedeng i-arrange or i-rank kasi they do not have any natural order. Now, let's proceed to number 3. Which of the following is not an example of a ratio variable? Alin ang hindi? Is it A, amount of money, B, temperature in degree Fahrenheit, C, shoe size, or D, distance? Not an example of a ratio variable. Tandaan natin na kapag sinabing ratio variable, these are levels of measurement na meron tayong absolute value. Ibig sabihin kapag 0 ang value ng isang data na within ratio level, absolute yun, as in nothing, as in non-existent. No? So, alin kaya dyan? Is it A, B, C, or D? Ilagay po ang item number. Ayan, sumasagot na sila. Ang sagot nila ay letter B. Sabi ni Philip, ni Justin, ni Jaylene, ni Richlyn, at ni Zeniel. Let's verify and let's reveal. Tama, it's temperature in degree Fahrenheit. Why is it not so? Anong level of measurement kabilang ang temperature in degree Fahrenheit? Can you please type in our comment section? Kung hindi yan ratio, anong level of measurement yan? 4 lang naman yon. So, pagpipilian nyo, 3 na lang. Anong level of measurement ang temperature in degree Fahrenheit? Remember that when we're talking about temperature in degree Fahrenheit, this is an example of interval. No? It's within the interval level. Ibig sabihin, sa temperature, when we're talking about temperature in degree Fahrenheit, ang 0 ay hindi absolute. Ang 0 dito na value ay arbitrary lang. Ginagamit lang as a reference point. So, tama po ang sagot ni Micah. Ayan, ni Micah Rain C. Campos at ni Zillian Ibanez Manuel, interval. Good job, Mathlead. So, naaalala pa. Now, I'm confident that we're ready to recall some of the concepts kasi naalala nyo pa yung levels of measurement. Now, we enumerate the descriptive measures. We have 9. Ang big chunks nito ay 3. Central tendency, variability, position. And each of the type will have 3 types also, 3 subtypes. We have mean, median, and mode for measures of central tendency, range, variance, standard deviation under measures of variability, while we also have 3 under measures of position, namely quartile, decile, and percentile. Yan, tandaan natin yan, no? So, ang pinaka-fresh dyan ay yung sa measures of position. Kasi sa grade 10 mathematics na 4th quarter, ang statistics ay nakafocus sa measures of position. Kasi yung central tendency na pag-aralan nyo na yan earlier, nung grade 7 kayo. Right? So, we have these 9 descriptive measures. You can also screenshot kung hindi nyo na-screenshot last week. Next, tandaan natin na kapag sinabi nating descriptive measures from the word itself, descriptive, ang root word ay to describe. Yan. So, ang main function or role ng descriptive measures na in-identify natin ay ano? It help us to describe a data in a meaningful way. No? Meaningful way kasi nagkakaroon ka ng idea kung ano yung central value, gaano ka-spread out yung value sa isang dataset o kaya ilang percent yung mababa at a certain point sa isang distribution. So, nagiging mas meaningful siya when we interpret the result. And these descriptive measures that we are talking about are actually helping us to characterize a set of data based on its properties. And this also allows us to interpret it in a simpler way. Ano yung example ko dati sa inyo dito nung last week? Kung halimbawang gusto mong i-interpret ang data ng na-collect mong score sa yung klase, for example, kung ikaw ay teacher, kaya ikaw estudyante, kukunin mo yung average score, mas makikita mo kung ano yung central value. If we're talking about mean score, no? Hindi mo na kailangang isa-isahin. Ito po kasi yung scores ko. Sa English po, sa science po, sa Filipino po, iisa-isahin mo pa. But this measures, such as descriptive measures, allow us to have a simpler way to interpret kasi binibigyan niya tayo ng central value na kaagad kung halimbawang gusto natin makuha yung average score. So, mas madali natin masasabi na, ito po yung average ko. If it's line of 9, ibig sabihin, you're performing well. Kung halimbawang nakita natin, gusto mong mag-compare second quarter, third quarter grade, nakita mo, nung second quarter, line of 8 lang ang average, tapos nung third quarter, naging line of 9, then you can also have this interpretation na, nag-i-improve yung average, yung performance mo as a student, right? So, very helpful sa atin ang descriptive measures when we are to analyze research data. Now, focus tayo sa measures of central tendency dahil na-recall na natin kung ano yung 4 levels of measurement. Let's highlight that when we say measures of central tendency, this is a point in the distribution where the scores or data tend to cluster. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kung meron kang distribution, pag sinabi mong central tendency, either it's mean, median, or mode, ito yung point dun sa dataset mo kung saan may tendency na doon siya magkukumpulan yung mga values. No? So we name them as mean, median, mode. So for example, you have a data set of, sige, doon na lang sa level na makaka-relate tayo. So, scores mo sa math quiz, for example. So, kung halimbawa, it's over 20, tapos ang naging average mo ay 15, kunyari set of quizzes, ibig sabihin, most likely, doon sa 15 na yon, which is now a measure of central tendency, which is the mean score, doon yung tendency na gumigit na yung scores mo, no? So that is an example of a situation wherein you are applying a measure of central tendency. Yan. So, tandaan, average is not only referring to mean. Pag sinabi nating average, it means central value. Ano yung pinaka-sentrong score or sentrong value sa isang data set, sa isang distribution? And there are 3 types, yung mean, median, and mode. So, sa mean, tatandaan lang natin, it is used for interval or ratio variable. Ayan, pakinote na mathletes. Ayan ha, interval or ratio variable. So, kung meron kang data set na halimbawa ang variable na ginamit ay temperature, since temperature is within interval, pwede mong gamitan yan ng mean. Pwede kang kumuha ng central value sa distribution na yan using the mean if you wanna find out the central value. Kung halimbawa amount of income naman, so within the ratio level yan, pwedeng gamitan ng mean. Pero kung halimbawa jersey number, tapos gusto mong makuha yung average or yung central value, we cannot use the mean. Bakit hindi pwede ang mean sa jersey numbers? Anong level ba ang jersey numbers? Is it nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio? Jersey number, yung mga nakalagay sa likod ng varsity players sa mga uniforms nila, bakit hindi pwede yon nagamitan ng mean kung hahanapin mo ang central value? Because it's within nominal level. So if the variable is within nominal or ordinal, definitely hindi siya appropriate gamitan ng mean. So again, interval, ratio. Ang mean ay known din as the balance point. Bakit? Kasi it is the equal weight of all the scores or values in the distribution. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kapag may data set ka, tapos ginamitan mo ng mean, nakukonsider yung bawat data. Hindi, halimbawa meron tayong scores sa math. Yun na yung lagi ko ibibigay na example for the meantime ha. Halimbawa meron kang scores sa math, tapos gusto mong kunin yung central value. Hindi naman tayo pipili lang na, pinakamaraming score common dito ay 15 over 20. So, yun na kagad yung central value. No. What we are doing when we are to apply mean, i-add lahat, natatandaan ba yan, mathletes? I-add lahat ng scores and then we divide it by the total number of values or yung N natin, yung total number of frequency. So, by that, ibig sabihin, may equal chance yung bawat score na nandun sa dataset na makonsider para makasama siya dun sa tendency na central value, right? So, it is also the most reliable measure kumpara dun sa dalawa pa, no? Remember that for central tendency, we have mean, median, mode. So, mean is the most reliable measure of central tendency because in computing the mean, ayan, every observation or data is considered. Kumbaga, walang naa-outcast. Kailan lang nagkakaroon ng outcast? So, ayan na, take note natin that mean is the sum of all the scores or values divided by the number of scores or values. So, summation of frequency over N. So, kailan lang nagkakaroon ng outcast? Kapag may tinatawag tayong extreme values. So, let's take a look at this example. So, sa set A, compose siya ng values na 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, let us try to solve the mean of set A. So, ang mean niyan, i-add mo lang lahat. Tapos, meron tayong 5 observations or 5 values. So, yung sum niyan, divided by 5, that will be equal to 9. Set B naman, we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So, pag kinuha natin yung mean ng set B, we add all these values and then we divide it by 5. Ano kayang sagot, mathletes? Any guess? Or let's try to compute. Approximately, anong mean ng set B? Yan, sige po. Sa ating comment section. Yan. Correct. Approximately, ang set B natin ay magkakaroon ng 9.2. So not approximately, but when we try to add 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, then divide it by 5, then the average of set B will be 9.2. But look at set C. Sa set C, may mapapansin kayo. It is composed of 7, 8, 9, 10, 30. I believe it's familiar with you, yung set na yung tatlong sets na to. Pag kinuha natin, mathletes, focus, pag kinuha natin yung mean ng set C, yan, thank you for computing, Zeniel and Philip, as well as Janeline and Rianina, 9.2 for set B. Now for set C, try to compute. What is the mean for set C? We add 7, 8, 9, 10, and 30, then we divide it by 5. Kung mapapansin nyo, each set is composed of 5 observations or 5 values. Pero may ma-observe kayo sa extremities. Ayan. Or yung sa values doon sa isang set. So, tingnan natin. If we add 7, 8, 9, 10, and 30 and we divide it by 5, the mean of set C will be 12.8. Take note ha, doon sa set B, ang lumabas kanina 9.2 and we can actually have an approximation value. Approximate meaning close, no? Close to that, which is 9. Pero sa set C, may mapapansin kayo, naging 12.8. Bakit kaya ganon? Pag in-approximate mo yan, that is close to 13. Why is it 12.8? Tama si Mike rin sa kanyang computation as well as Philip. Good job. Now, bakit? Kasi kung titignan natin ang tatlong sets, if we are trying to compare these 3 sets, i-analyze natin, yung mean ng set A is approximately equal to the mean of set B. Diba? Set A is 9, set B is 9.2, but it is close. It's approximately equal to. Yun yung ibig sabihin nun. Malapit siya sa 9. 9.2 is close to 9. But, we can definitely say that the mean of set B is not equal to the mean of set C. 9.2 tapos 12.8. O sige, i-whole number natin. 9 is not equal to 13. This example actually shows, mathletes, that 30 in set C has an impact with the mean. So yes, most reliable si mean sa pagko-compute ng average sa isang dataset, especially if it's within interval and ratio level. Pero tatandaan natin that when we're trying to compute for the mean score, it's greatly affected by extremities. Extremities, ibig sabihin, sobrang taas na score or sobrang baba. Kaya nagkaroon ng impact si 30 kasi nga ang layo eh. 7, 8, 9, 10, biglang naging 30, nag-jump into 30. And 30 here is actually called an outlier. So, kapag nagko-compute tayo ng mean, ito yung isa sa mga i-consider natin, we can actually remove our outliers. Paano natin nasasabing outlier? Extreme score. Sobrang taas, sobrang baba. In order for us to get a more reliable and more accurate mean score for a data set. So I hope that is clear. So that's the first measure of central tendency. We proceed to median. Oh, by the way, look at the notation. Sa mean, X yon tapos bar. Yan. Sa median naman, X tapos yung parang sa N. So that is X tilde. Yan. For the median, it is used for ordinal interval or ratio variable. So in short, lahat ng variable, lahat ng levels ng variable pwede except nominal. Bakit except nominal? Kasi ang nominal, it doesn't have any natural order. Natatandaan? So there's no natural order, so hindi mo siya pwedeng gamitan ng median. Bakit? Kasi sa process ng pagsosolve ng median, matatandaan natin, mathletes, that we are required to arrange the values in either descending or ascending order. So you cannot arrange values if naturally wala siyang order, right? So halimbawa, jersey numbers, kahit na alam natin may mga tatak sa likod ng varsity players na 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 21, 27, it doesn't have a natural order. No? Kasi ang jersey number ginagamit doon, ginagamit lang yon as label for that varsity player. So it's within nominal level. So when we say median, it is a point in the distribution such that 50% of the scores or values are below it. So kung titignan natin ang data distribution, masasabi natin na pag halimbawang meron na tayong median score or median value, we interpret that 50% of the scores or values are below it. Makikita kagad natin na kalahati ng data distribution mababa doon sa median value. Halimbawa, meron tayong data distribution composed of different math quiz scores. So, halimbawa, ang median value mo ay 15, we can interpret na 50% o kalahati ng buong dataset may score na mas mababa sa 15. And at the same time, meron ding kalahati o 50% na mas mataas sa 15. Nagiging middle value yung median. Right? And tatandaan that aside from being one of the measures of central tendency, ang median din ay pwedeng i-consider as a measure of position. Kasi ang median natin, based on our previous discussion about quartiles, deciles, and percentiles, ang median ay equivalent saan? Sige nga, can you please type in our chat box? Ang median ay equivalent sa pang-ilang quartile. May 3 quartiles lang tayo, Q1, Q2, Q3. Ano ang pinakagitna doon or median? Saan yun equivalent? Sige nga, please type in our comment section. Q1, Q2, or Q3? Yan. Waiting for your answer. Ang median katumbas ng pang-ilang quartile, mathletes. Good job. Ayan. Meron siyang ang median score ay katumbas ng anong position? Second quartile, yung pinakagitna. Ayan, Q2 po, sabi ni Mark Gonzalez at ni Philip at ni Janely, naka-question mark, but you're all correct. So, second quartile. Now, when it comes to decile and percentile, may 9 tayong deciles, may 99 tayong percentiles. Ano ang katumbas ng median sa decile and percentile? Sige, in our comment section, yan, tama rin ang sagot nila Maricar, Janeline, Jillian, Rianinia, Michelle Saltarin Roa, at Princess. Yan. So, sa decile naman, yung ika-5. So, 5th decile is equivalent also to our median. At sa percentile naman, it's the 50th percentile, P sub 50. So, let's take a look at this example. So, sa ating set A, composed of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Same sets kanina sa ating previous example. Set B, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. And then set C, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30. Kung ma-observe nyo sa tatlong sets na binibigay natin for this example, parehas, equal, ang first 4 values, 7, 8, 9, 10, nagkakaiba lang sila sa last value. No? So, if we try to compute for the median, paano nga natin kino-compute ang median? Since sets A, B, C are all examples of ungrouped dataset, gagawin lang natin, i-arrange muna natin whether in ascending or descending order. Tapos, anong gagawin? Kung halimbawa may odd number ka na data, kung 5 yan, after mong ma-arrange yung dataset, ayan, naka-arrange na yan ascending order, di ba? Kunyari si set A, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, identify mo lang ano yung pinakagitna. Right? Yan. So, obviously, sa set A, B, and C, 9 ang pinaka middle score. Yan, kasi may 5 tayo, yung ika-third spot ay yung 9. So, median of A, set A is 9, median of set B is 9, ganun din ang median of set C. Equal sila. Now, the median is used for ordinal interval or ratio variable. Tatandaan natin na dito sa example na to, sa pinakita natin, the median in all of the sets is 9, even if set C has an outlier. Kanina sa mean, di ba, matatandaan nyo, nag-iba, naging 12.8 or approximately 13. But for the case of median, when we try to compute the median of sets A, B, and C, naging 9. Anong ibig sabihin nito or anong pinapakita nito? This shows that the median is not sensitive to an outlier. So sa mean, affected siya ng extreme values or ng mga outliers, kaya pwede tayong mag-remove. But when we're talking about median, hindi siya sensitive or greatly affected ng mga extreme values or outliers. So, pwede tayong hindi mag-remove. Okay? And then for the mode, yan pinakamadaling tandaan. Mode is the only measure of central tendency we can use with nominal variables. Ayan. Yung mga, yung first level natin which is nominal. Kasi ang role lang naman ng nominal is to, what? Label, characterize, categorize. So, only mode is applicable to that. It can also be used for interval or ratio data, yes, but commonly, but for nominal, mode lang ang pwede. So, Example nito, it can also be used for interval or ratio data. Halimbawa, shoe size. No? Sa shoe size, that's within interval level, pero pwede siyang sa mode. Bakit? Halimbawa, magpapasurvey ka sa klase, sa classroom, o ilan kaya dito yung ang shoe size ay size 6? Hindi mo naman kukomputan ng mean, hindi mo naman yan kukomputan ng median. Ang gagawin mo lang ay bibilangin mo. Because when we say mode, it is the most frequent data in the distribution. So halimbawa nag-survey ka, out of 30 classmates, ilan dito sa inyo ang size 6 ang paa? O may 10. Size 7, o may 5. Hindi mo naman gagawin para mahanap yung central value. Hindi mo naman sasabihin na, okay, sige, 6 times 10 plus, i-add mo lahat ng mga nakuha mong values tapos i-divide mo by 30. It doesn't work like that. So, ang magiging appropriate na measure dyan is, for mode, is just to simply count. O ilan daw yung size 6. At nakita mo, pinakamarami sa mga classmates mo, size 6 ang paa. So that will be the mode value of that data set. So again, when we say mode, it is the most frequent data in the distribution. Kaya nga tinatawag din yan, mathletes, na measure of popularity. Bakit? Kasi nakadepende siya doon sa may pinakamataas na frequency na yung data na may pinakamataas na frequency. Halimbawa, recently, di ba, nung May 9, we had national and local elections. Among the 3, mean, median, mode, di ba? The way we determine the winner for the national and local election is using mode. Hindi naman tayo nag-mean median eh. Ilan yung bumoto tas kinuha yung average. No, it doesn't work like that. So what we did is to identify the politicians, the party lists that receive the highest votes. And we interpret that as the most popular. Kaya tinatawag din yung mode as the measure of popularity. Yan. So, sino ba dito ang mga may bet nung nakaraan sa elections, 'di ba? So, tingnan nga natin kung halimbawa, oo nga no, kaya siya nanalo because he's popular. Ang dami niyang na-earn na votes. So, remember that. Na sa election, sa voting, ang voting system natin is in a form of mode. Mode yung ina-apply nating measure. Okay? Yan. So again, mean, median, and mode. In our comment section, ano nga ang pinaka-applicable lang for nominal variables? Can you please type? And while we are preparing for our next activity, yan, correct, it's the mode. Now, let's proceed. For this activity, you have to identify. Yan, ang title, Identify Me. Yan, thank you, Crystal Zoe. Si Deniola, tama ang yung sagot, it's the mode. So for each variable described below, indicate which measure of central tendency would be the most appropriate to find for its average. Yan, meron po tayo dito, mathletes, na, oops, ayaw niya mag-move. Yan, meron tayong 5 data. So, please disregard na lang yung sa numbering sa gilid. So for the data, we have Math 10 final grades. These are the variables. May 5 tayong variables na binigay. Shoe size, kakabigay ka lang ng example. We have internet provider, rank of performance, and we also have the allowance. Now, we have another 2 columns. Ang gagawin natin for each variable, we need to identify anong level yan. Yung Math 10 final grades, for example, is it within the nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio level? Then after determining the level of measurement, let's determine ano yung appropriate na measure of central tendency. Mean, median, or mode. Diba? So, ganun lang kasimple. But you also have to take note, mathletes, na for each variable, it's also possible to have at most 2 out of 3 measures of central tendency na akma or appropriate para dun sa level of measurement. So, simulan natin. Number 1, mathletes, for Math 10 final grades, i-type ang N kung nominal, O kung ordinal, I kung interval, at R kung ratio. Start now. Math 10 final grades, go. Tapos, susundan din natin, anong appropriate measure of central tendency? Isulat ng buo, is it mean, median, or mode? So, ang gagawin natin, initial letter ng level of measurement, comma, tapos, you have the options, mean, median, or mode. Sige nga, number 1 muna, pakilagay ang item number. Practice tayo. Kasi, importante to, mathletes. You know what, when you reach senior high school, you have a lot of research studies to be done. And one of the important skills that you need, aside from, di ba, computational skills sa statistics part, kailangan marunong din tayo, first thing, is to identify types of data, types of variables, and even the levels of measurement. Kasi without this knowledge and skills, hindi mo alam kung anong level of measurement yan. May tendency, malaking possibility, na magiging mali yung pipiliin nating measure of central tendency. At hindi natin mai-interpret ng maayos yung study natin kapag halimbawang hindi tama yung naging process natin. Ayan, ang sagot ni Maricar, mean, tsaka nominal. Yan. Shout out po kay Ma'am Anastasia. Magandang araw din po sa inyo, ma'am. Yan. Yan, shout out to my mother. Yan, nanonood po siya ngayon. For Yanina, it's also nominal and mean. Ganon din kay Jeniel Andres at kay Mark Gonzalez. Let's reveal. For number 1, it should be interval. Bakit interval? Kasi ang interval, wala siyang absolute 0. Arbitrary lang ang 0. Tandaan yung binigay nating example last week. Kapag sinabi nating final grades, kung halimbawa may nakakuha dyan ng 0, hindi naman ibig sabihin na absolute, totally walang natutunan yung bata sa klase, sa math 10 lesson niya. It's just that, kaya ganun yung score niya kasi walang item dun sa test na alam niya. Kaya siya mali. No? Hindi niya nasagutan ng tama. So, it's within interval. But, some of you, mali sa level of measurement, but you're correct na this could be mean. So, for number 1, it's interval. What about for number 2? Shoe size, yan. Nabigay ko na example yan kanina. It's interval as well. Yan. So, interval yan kasi wala namang absolute 0 saan. So, it's just used as a reference point. Internet provider, nominal. And good afternoon din po, Sir June Ward, who is watching from their schools division office, which is, yan, pa-shoutout naman, sir, ang iyong school at ang inyong mga colleagues. Now, for rank of performance, may clue tayo for number 4. Ano kaya yan, mathletes? Pag rank of performance, is it nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio? Ayan, sumasagot na po sila. Correct. Ayan, sa number 2, sa number 4, rank of performance, may clue kayo. Tama, Crystal Joy, it's ordinal. And lastly, for allowance, pag sinabi bang 0 ang allowance mo, arbitrary lang ba yun? Or is it absolute? What is allowance? Ayan, correct. Allowance will be within the ratio level. Now, let's find out. After determining the levels of measurements, interval, nominal, ordinal ratio, let's find out which of the measures of central tendency would be more appropriate. Shout out din po kay Rosemary Solon, Kimberly Tapugay, and Jessica Manyoso who are watching from Caloocan. Shout out and thank you for watching and supporting the program. Okay, so tama kayo, mathletes, kanina, no? For number 1, we can use mean kasi it's the final grades that we are trying to compute for the central value. Pwede rin ang median kasi hindi naapektuhan ng extreme scores ang Math 10 final grades. Then for the shoe size, it must be mode. O, yun yung sinabi ko kanina example. Hindi naman tayo magko-compute ng mean or median. Ang identify lang natin, ano yung pinakamarami, no, doon sa shoe size, for example. What about for internet provider? Since it's within the nominal level, ano ang appropriate na measures of central tendency? Sige nga, pakitype sa comment section natin. For the internet provider, it's within the nominal level. So this could be, yan, mode, very good. And for the rank of performance ordinal, pwede ang median kasi it has a natural order. So, pwede tayong mag-arrange. And lastly, for allowance, tingnan nga natin kung kayo itatama sa number 5, sa last item. Ratio ang level. So, Ayan, we have mean or median. Mean or median for interval and ratio, yan, appropriate yan. But there are cases as well na yung interval pwedeng gamitan ng mode. Example nga po dyan ay yung shoe sizes. Now, let's have the measures of variability. If average describes the center of a distribution, yung variability naman, mathletes, simply it describes the spread of the data. Gaano ka-spread out, kalayo-layo, or kadikit-dikit, gaano magkakalayo-layo, magkakadikit-dikit ang data sa isang distribution. So, ini-interpret natin, very important to, no? Please take note, pagka halimbawang may lower variability ang isang data distribution, as we interpret it, this would mean more consistent or closer values in the distribution. Kaya nga sa isang, let's say, exam na tinetest natin ang consistency and reliability, if the students would score and then you find out na mas mababa yung variability, ibig sabihin magkakalapit halos ang mga scores, closer values. Ibig sabihin, may consistency doon sa nagawa mong exams. So lower variability means more consistent or closer values in the distribution, while for higher variability, kabaliktaran. It means that the values or scores are farther, magkakalayo, or mas kalat-kalat, more scattered in the distribution. And the next, tingnan natin to. Ito maganda tong pag-analyze. Let's practice analysis. No? Let's practice our analyzing skills when it comes to statistical data. So look at the table. The table shows the means, ranges, and variances, as well as standard deviations of the scores and math test of 3 randomly picked learners. Can we conclude, mathletes, that the learners have equal performance since they have equal means? Yes or no? Ibig bang porke ba halimbawa, magkakaparehas ang mean score ng tatlong estudyanteng ito, masasabi na natin na meron silang equal performance. Pare-parehas ang school performance nila. Definitely, no. So definitely not. Kasi kailangan din natin i-consider ang measures of variability. So we're talking about range, variance, standard deviation. So for example, kay student A, kita nyo mean niya 6.8 pero may range na 5. So we can have this example in our minds. For example, si student A, ang highest grade niya ay 95, ang lowest grade niya ay 90. Wow, sana all. So, ang range ng highest and lowest score niya ay 5. Remember that range is computed by subtracting the lowest score from the highest score. So, ang layo lang nun ay 5. So, 95 minus 95. Okay, student B, 6.8 din ang mean, pero for example, ang highest score niya ay 98, ang lowest niya ay 96. So, may range siyang 2. Kay student C, siguro meron siyang 90 na highest, 81 ang lowest, kaya 9 ang range niya. Malayo. So, importante na hindi lang natin alam ang measures of central tendency, but we also consider the measures of variability. Most especially if we want to compare scores. We want to compare distribution. Katulad nito, gusto natin i-compare ang performance ng mga estudyante. Yan. Diba? Minsan may nagkakatay eh. Diba pag graduate na, tie sila. Kahit sa point something, tie yung average nila. 90.25. Mga deliberations sa school. But it doesn't mean na masasabi natin equal performance talaga sila. Kasi meron pang other factors such as range, variance, and standard deviation. Very quick lang, pag sinabi nating range, ayan nga, highest minus lowest, that is commonly used as measure of variability kasi ito yung pinakamadali, pinakasimple. Subtract mo lang, pinakamataas, pinakamababa. Then standard deviation is the measure of the spread of the scores in the distribution. Tapos, pag halos magkalapit kasi si variance and standard deviation, remember? So, pagka pinag-compare mo yung dalawa, since they are closely related values, ang difference lang, yung standard deviation ay kaparehas niya ng unit sa original values. Halimbawa, mathletes, kinuha natin yung length of hair ng mga estudyante. Uy, gusto mong kunin yan as your data set, no? Tapos, ang unit of measurement mo ay millimeters. Now, if you want to compute for the standard deviation, ang result nun, naka-millimeters din. But for variance, it's not in millimeters. Bakit? Kasi remember that for variance, we square the value of SD or standard deviation para makuha ang variance. Ulitin po natin yon. Para makuha ang variance, ini-square natin or raise to the second power ang value ng standard deviation. So for example, standard deviation mo ay 2, ang variance niyan ay 4. Vice versa, para makuha mo ang standard deviation given the variance, you get the square root of variance. So variance mo ay 4, you get the square root, standard deviation mo ay 2. So balik tayo sa example of the length of hair. Kung millimeters ang unit of measurement, standard deviation mo would also have millimeters as your unit of measurement. But for variance, magiging square millimeters na. Kasi ini-square mo na. So that's the simplest explanation for that definition. So again, range, standard deviation, and variance. And we also have, so pag nakarinig kayo mathletes ng mga ganitong statements, a standard deviation of 3, yan, indicates na yung isang data sa isang distribution, 3 SD siya away from the mean. So imagine a data set, ang central value mo ay, let's say 10, tapos sabi, ang data value mo ay 3 standard deviation units away. Kung 1 ang SD mo, so yung kasunod ng 10, 3 SD away, so that will be 13. Anong kasunod? 10, ayan, 13, and it goes parang progressive lang. So, plus 3, minus 3. So, for measures of position, so, ayan, magandang example nito. Look at the situation class. Baka na-encounter nyo rin to. Especially, you are in grade 10 and you are hoping to be part of a university, of a college, through entrance examinations or admission test na tinatawag. So pag sinabi nating measures of position, it can give us a way to see where a value in a distribution of data falls. So based on this example, research showed that 99% of the top 5% examinees in the college entrance examination in University XYZ, pangalan ng university, no, for example, have a very satisfactory grade in all subjects in college. Thus, the university decided to give full scholarship to the top 5% examinees in the examination with the condition that they will not fail in any subject. Gets nyo yung situation natin? So, merong research na nagsasabi, karamihan or 99%, almost perfect, ng mga nakakapasok sa top 5% ng examinees sa isang college entrance exam sa certain university, nagkakaroon sila ng very satisfactory grades sa lahat ng subjects nila sa college. Kaya, ang ginawa ng university, they decided na magbigay ng full scholarship sa top 5% examinees ng kanilang entrance exam. Pero may kondisyon. They should not fail in any subject. Dapat hindi sila babagsak. Tama nga naman, in order for you to deserve the scholarship, no, for that privilege. Now, may tanong, if you answered 95% of the items in the college entrance exam correctly, does this qualify you for full scholarship in the university? Gandang question, no? Ibig bang sabihin daw, kung nakasagot ka ng tama, 95% of your answers in that college entrance exam ay tama, ibig bang sabihin yan, qualified ka na kagad for scholarship in the university? So halimbawa, mathletes, over 100 yung college entrance exam. 95 out of 100, tama ang yung sagot. So ibig sabihin ang score mo, 95 over 100, that's your final score. Ibig bang sabihin nun, pasok ka kagad sa top 5? Yes or no? Sige nga po, gusto kong malaman ang sagot ng ating mga mathletes kung paano sila mag-analyze. Ibig bang sabihin, kapag ang score mo ay 95% tama, yun bang ibig sabihin natin na makakapasok ka kagad sa top 5% ng ating college entrance examinees? May sumasagot na, yes po. Ayan. Yan. Thank you for answering. But you know what, mathletes? It's the other way around. It should not be, it doesn't imply. Yung pagkakaroon mo ng 95 out of 100 na score or 95% tama yung mga sagot mo, it doesn't qualify you right away for full scholarship in the university kasi hindi naman sinabi, no? Kasi may possibility. So, hindi siya, kumbaga, parang passport na, 95 out of 100 yung score ko, 95% correct items. Pasok agad ako sa top 5% examinees. Rather, kung titingnan natin, kunyari, syempre, maraming nag-entrance exam. What if, yes, nakakuha ka ng 95 out of 100, pero, yan, may mga nakakuha din ng perfect score, 99 out of 100, 98 out of 100, 97, 96, no? So, it doesn't guarantee you right away that you will be part of that full scholarship in the university, provided only na nakasagot ka ng 95% correct items. Kasi ang kinukuha, top 5% of the examinees. Kunyari, ang nakakuhang score, ang mga scores na nasa top 5, 100, 99, 99, 98, 97. Asan yung 95 doon? Wala pa siya sa top 5%. Kasi ang kukunin lang is top 5%. So remember that a 95 percentile rank means that 95% of the examinees obtained scores equal to or lower than your score. So nakaka-encounter kayo ngayon dito ng tinatawag nating percentile rank. So percentage is different from percentile rank. Ito yung isa sa mga i-emphasize natin for today's session. Percentile rank is normally utilized in standardized tests. It is used to identify the percentage of examinees who scored below a standard. Yan. So kung sinasabi natin kanina, your score is at the 95 or 95th percentile rank. Ang ibig lang sabihan nun, 95% of the examinees nakakuha ng score na kapantay mo o kaya mas mababa sa'yo. Okay? So, yun. Next. Yan. So, just a quick sharing, no? Learners who will enroll in STEM strand, sports track, and arts and design strand utilize the NCAE results. Alam nyo ba yan? Siguro you also experience taking that NCAE results. NCAE stands for National Career Assessment Examination. So one criterion set by DepEd for entry in the STEM strand for senior high school is to obtain at least 85 percentile rank in the STEM subtest. So yan, nagagamit natin yung mga statistical terms. So it's important that you're familiar to this and you understand the meaning of this. So while at least 51 percentile rank in the corresponding subtest for sports track and arts and designs track. So again, pag halimbawa gusto mong pumasok sa STEM strand, isa sa criteria ng DepEd, kailangan makalocate yung score mo dun sa 85th percentile rank ng STEM subtest. Tapos doon naman sa ibang track, sports track, arts, designs track, at least 51 lang. Yan. And so what do we learn? We already learned the 9 descriptive measures. So hopefully na iintindihan natin yung mga examples natin, situational examples where you can relate. Especially it's about exams, it's about your computation of test scores. Yan. So meron tayong descriptive measures at 10 yan. Since last week, we are learning this. Now, let's have a quick check challenge for this week. Pakisulat na po. Get ready. You are all matibay, kaya paki-ready na ang inyong papel at ballpen at ilagay ang item number at ang tamang sagot. Number 1. Which of the following sets of data appropriately uses median in computing the average? Yan. Measures of central tendency tayo, class, no? Median daw po. Is it A, B, C, or D? So obviously, we are given 4 different data sets at aalamin natin alin dyan sa mga yan ang tamang gamitan ng median para makuha mo ang central value. Is it A, B, C, or D? So median, ina-arrange natin in ascending, descending order. We know that this is not greatly affected by outliers. So, alin kaya? A, B, C, or D? Pakisulat na po sa ating chat box. Let me check our comment section. Let me check kung anong sagot ng ating mga mathletes. Yan, may sumagot na si Philip. Sagot niya ay A. What about the others? Ayan, sunod-sunod na po yung sagot ni Geniel, Marian, Justin, Jaylene. A din po ang kanilang sagot. And let's see. So, ang tamang sagot ay letter B. So, ayan no, 70, 80, 90, 100, 800. Kasi, the rest, you can actually use kahit yung mean. Pero, kung titingnan natin yung apat na datasets, only letter B has an outlier. Definitely, hindi mo siya magagamitan ng mode, hindi mo rin siya magagamitan ng mean. So, the most appropriate na gamitan ng median is letter B. Kasi from 70, 80, 90, 100, bigla kang may outlier. Remember, yun yung clue ko kanina, remember that for computation of median, hindi siya naapektuhan or hindi siya sensitive sa mga outliers or extreme values. Good job sila Justin, Justin, Michelle, Gerald and Janilyn, tama ang kanilang sagot which is letter B. Ganon din si John Carl Centillas at King Margie. Now, number 2. Which of the following is an incorrect statement about measures of variability? Ayan, tingnan natin kung natatandaan nyo. A. Lower variability means more consistent data. B. Standard deviation is the average distance of the data in a distribution. C. Variance is the negative distance of individual values around the mean. Range is the range is the distance between the lowest and highest values in a distribution. So obviously, we are looking for the incorrect statement. So we can actually use here some test-taking tips, no? Yung elimination. So eliminate mo na kagad dyan yung alam mong tama. So, lilesen na natin yung ating options. Makikita nyo kagad kung ano yung mali. So, may mga sumasagot. Number 2, letter A daw. Lower variability means more consistent data. Kung na-screenshot nyo yan kanina, this is actually a correct statement. Kung mas mababa ang spread, pagkakalat-kalat ng pagkakalayo-layo ng ating mga data, then it's more consistent. So, A is not the correct answer. What about the others? Ayan. Si Kimberly Tapugay, ang sagot niya naman ay C. Ganon din si Michelle Saltarin Roa. And si Jaylene, Angel Vidañola, and you're correct. Very good, mathletes. Ito yung mali. Kasi sabi, variance is the negative distance. Wala tayong negative distance. So, dun pa lang may error or may incorrect term na. There's no such thing as negative distance. Because when we say distance, the values of distances are always positive, no? Kaya nga meron tayong mga absolute values na tinatawag for distances. So, it's letter C. Number 3. Oops. Yan. For number 3, your college entrance examination score is at the 70th percentile. Ano kayang ibig sabihin ng mathletes? Yan, matitest talaga ang inyong interpretation. Is it A, you answered 70% of the items correctly? Ang term na ginamit ay 70th percentile. Is it B, you failed in the college entrance examination? Is it C, 70% of the examinees scored equal to or lower than your score? Or is it letter D, 69% of the examinees scored equal to or lower than your score? Pwedeng mag-eliminate ng mga impossible answers kagad. 70th percentile. So, this is giving us the clue that this 70th percentile is actually about measures of position. Ibig ba sabihin yan, 70% of the items nasagutan mo ng tama for letter A? Or letter B, bagsak ka sa college entrance exam dahil 70th percentile, ganun ba ang interpretation? Or letter C, 70% ng mga nag-take ng exam nakascore ng kapantay mo o mas mababa sa score mo? Or is it letter D, 69% ng mga nag-take ng exam nakascore ng pantay sa score mo or mas mababa sa score mo? Sabi ni King, Margie, Marifel, Hexel, Justin, Liam, and Kimberly, letter C daw. Ganon din si Oliver Catolico. And you're correct, mathletes. Letter C is the correct answer. Good job. Yan. So, for number 4, it is recorded in your health card that your weight falls in the 6th decile among the grade 10 learners. What does this mean? O 6 decile measures of position din. Is it A, your weight is not normal? B, you have a normal weight? C, you are heavier than 60% of the grade 10 learners? Or is it D, you're heavier than 59% of the grade 10 learners? Kapag sinabi ba natin 6 decile tapos position lang yung tinutukoy natin, can we right away interpret that as something na normal, not normal? May descriptor ba agad? Or can we just have the percentage? Yun yung sure tayo na meron. So may clue na ako for number 4 ha. You can eliminate the impossible answers. For number 4, is it A, B, C, or D? Pakisend na sa screenshot. Sa chat box, sa comment section. 3, 2, 1. Maraming sumagot ng A at meron ding sumagot ng C for number 4. Let's find out. You're correct. Karamihan sa inyo tamang sagot, it's letter C. You are heavier. Mas mabigat ka sa 60% ng mga grade 10 students. And lastly, magkakaroon tayo, tapos na tayo for our weekly challenge na post-assessment, 4 items. Now, are you ready to take the math challenge of the week? Yan. Ready na yan. So, let's have this Certified Matibay Challenge. Please screenshot, my dear mathletes. For this challenge for our quarter for week 6, we need to identify what appropriate descriptive measure is to be used on the following survey results. Paki-screenshot, 3, 2, 1. Yan, sana hindi ako nakanganga kapag naka-screenshot tayo dito. Now we have 6 items. Yan, 6 items. We have 2 items for each set. Set A, Set B, and Set C. Again, identify what appropriate descriptive measure is to be used on the following survey results. And please don't forget to indicate your complete name of school, school's division office, the name of your math coach or math teacher, and please tag us. Kung halimbawa hindi pa tayo friends sa FB, naka-public post po sana. Pero kung friends naman tayo sa FB, just use these official hashtags so that we can identify. Pwede rin pong mag-post sa DepEd ETUlay Facebook group at mag-send sa ating official group chat. So we have hashtag Math and Challenge, hashtag Tutor of Hill, Tutor Ruel, and Tutor Zoe. So, don't forget our important dates for the 4th quarter. Nasa week 6 na tayo, last 2 sessions, at last module na rin tayo for next week, kaya huwag kayong mawawala. Kasi sa week 8, i-recognize na rin natin kung sino ang ating mga mathletes for the 4th quarter, ang mga exemplary tuties natin for the whole 4th quarter. So we are looking forward for perfect attendance from different Math Husay schools that are joining with us for Math 10. So once again, thank you so much for joining our week 6 session or episode, and don't forget na ang submission ng ating weekly math challenge, ang deadline lagi is on Monday, on the following Monday at 5 p.m. So pwede na mag-send right after this session, right after this live, tapos ang deadline ay sa Monday, June 13, 5 p.m. So thank you so much. This is Tutor Joy Villarreal from SDO Caloocan City, always reminding everyone that learning math is more fun when we can see and appreciate its beauty. See you again next week. Goodbye and happy weekend to everyone.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETUlay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!